Welcome to the standard tutorial on weekly schedule dashboard updating. Today we're going to be reviewing step 1. So step 1 is open up the file and click the clear last week's data macro. So in your project, and we're going to be doing this project right here, you have folder 53 schedule, and that's standard across the board. So go to your project number, which has the project name, then click on 53 schedule, and then in this one there's 06 weekly schedule or weekly dashboard. In there is our file, our reoccurring file that we use each week to produce the dashboard. Now when I click on that and then it opens right here, what I need, that's the first step, is getting it open. The second step is actually clicking this macro right here. So you see here, step 1, just like we're doing today, you click this macro. So go ahead and click this macro. Now we have completed step 1. Now for step 2 in the process, you need to make sure all the project information is correct. Usually, for most of this, it's going to remain, but each week, for instance, if you put something in the data date range, let's say 1/21/21, and baseline data date was 1/15/21, right? And PPC was 80%. Let's say we had this information here. Next week when you come in here and you hit clear, those are actually going to be removed, but not the ones that say project name. For instance, this is ASU Durham, right? And the job number is 1895. So, and I'll fill out the rest here in a second, but when you click the macro in the first step next week, when you come back to do this update worksheet, you'll see that those won't erase. So the stuff that always remains, like these, will remain there. But if a different superintendent gets assigned to a project, you would need to put that in here, and so on and so forth. But these ones have to be filled out each week. So it's important on step 2 to go through and make sure all of this information is correct each week after you've done step 1. Now here for step 3, I'm going to show you both here in Excel and what it is. Step 3 is really, hold on. So step 3 is needing to open up P6 and getting to the right layout. So you go to P6 and make sure that your project is open, and I have the right project open. You'd need to go to project, and you need to right-click open or go to file, open. Many different ways to get to your right project, find it, and then open the correct project. Once you're there and you're here, you need to open up layouts and go find the Oakland OCC-update dump. And again, in your dashboard, it has this right here. So you remember it's OCC-update dump in the global layouts. So that's how you would do it, is you would go to open layouts and you'd go find OCC update dump, and then you'd open, right? And when you're like this, you know that you're right. You're going to have GAC dash * OCC executive summary as the first column. And it's not going to have a Gantt chart. It's just going to look like a data dump, right? So this is step number 3. Now, step 4 in the process is assign the previous schedule update baseline to primary baseline, or BL1. What that would look like is you go to project, assign baseline, or if you have it on one of your toolbars, you see user baselines down here. This primary one is what we're talking about. You'd go back and you'd find the last time the schedule's been updated, the baseline that you saved, and you'd select it right here. Not changing the project baseline, that should be the contractual one. But right here, that's what we use BL1 for during a schedule update. Clicking OK, and we're done. Step 5 and 6 kind of go together. We're going to paste all that information in P6 right here. So what that looks like, from this layout that we've already opened, we're going to, you can hit Control A on your keyboard or highlight everything And all you need to do is either Control C or click copy right here when you right click, and you copy this information from P6, and you go back to your spreadsheet, and you paste it right here in this gold cell. And it reminds you it's A44, right? So column A, row 44. And that's what number 6 is saying, or sorry, that's what number 5 is saying. Copy and paste it into the yellow cell right here on the sheet. So right here, we paste, and there we go. Now for step 6, we're going to leave this first sheet, which is update workout, and we're going to go to the weekly dashboard. You see this right here, that it's showing you the picture of what the tab looks like. So go to the green tab, basically. We're going to go to the green tab, and we're going to check we're going to check to see if there's any issues that are coming up. If there's anything like errors or anything Excel saying, hey, there's a problem here. You'd see it with like number signs or like error or NA or anything like that. That's what you just want to quickly look for, because if there's any errors, we'd start to see them here, and we want to do that before we go on to the next step. So this step 6 through 8, sorry, 6 and 7. I'm going to renumber these by the next one. 6 and 7 are go to this tab and review and see if there's any issues. Now we're ready for step 8. Step 8 is really simple. You literally just click this and watch it do its job. So this macro has like 45 functions in it. It brings information into the update archive. It pulls stuff from the update work sheet into that, and then that represents stuff in the weekly dashboard. And the reason for that is because we have some things that trend, like the float erosion. We have other things like the critical path activities last week versus this week. Is there any progress or not? Things like that show over time, and to do that, that's how we've done it with this macro right here. So everything brings in the information and updates all issues that creates all in one foul swoop. So just click this generate dashboard, and you should only click this once per update. If you end up clicking this multiple times, that's an issue. Right there, that would create a defect in some of the data that this would represent. In that scenario, you would have multiple lines here under archive information. And I know this says touch this and you'll have 7 years bad luck. Now that you have the training, you'll know that every time you click that button here on the weekly dashboard, you click this generate dashboard and scoreboard. Every time you click that, a new line appears here, because this is the current data that the update worksheet provided and provides. To bring it down, we're going to move everything down and then paste a new one in on 25. So we always know 25 is the most current update, right? And then we have a running list here of all the different data. And then as we're doing this, we'll start to be able to trend things like percent plan complete and how we're doing on our Acumen Fuse score and so on and so forth. So having all the information in an archive like this is extremely important for trending the data that we're collecting over time. All right, step 9, fill in all the blank colored cells. And I'm moving this live. So for the indicators that you manually fill in, type 1, 2, or 3 for the following scale. 1 means red, 2 means yellow, 3 means green. So right here, days remaining on project. Based on the update that we just went through with this team, this is actually a good thing. And I can either type in 3, or you can use the arrow here and type in 3, right? So 3, boom, that's a good thing. Review exposure log with PM this update. Did we review the exposure log? Yes, we did. So all of those are indicating green. 10-day weather forecast for site. We can look up right here using these buttons. Go and look at Arizona and see weather patterns. I happen to look and see that the 10-day weather forecast is clear. So we're good to go. Are there any risks that we need to mitigate that are in the schedule? Anything that isn't popping out here, but we need to talk about? The answer is yes. We have a slight issue with some procurement of some fire-rated doors. So I want to talk about that. It's not something that's critical, but I think it's yellow, and we need to have further discussion. I'm just going to notate it here and just memorialize that. We received an Acumen Fuse score from Corey of 85%. So I'm going to type that in here. Did critical path change from last update? Yes, it did. And I'm going to put what changed and what things came on, what things came off in my narrative to the team. So that's why I put that there. And then I come down here, review procurement log with PE this update. Yes, we did, because we're amazing. Is the procurement log filled out correctly? Yes. Is the number of red flags, how many numbers of red flags do we have in the procurement log? We actually have 3. And did all 3 red flag items get added to P6? They were already in P6, so I'm going to say yes, they are in P6 and they are updated. So we're good to go. We now have an indicator showing us how many issues we have in procurement and so on and so forth. So now as we come down, that's the last thing that we have for this step. So there you go. Step number 10 through 12 kind of work in tandem. We need to start compiling this information into an email that goes out to the team. The first thing is to use this copy to clipboard. Now this is just a fast way to do a really good copy. Now there are different types of copies now in Excel, and I'll show you for instance. If you highlight what you want to copy, they have this new function here, and we can copy as a picture. This is a fast way of doing all the steps that I just did. I clicked, highlighted, then went up here, clicked that down arrow, and then clicked that. Instead of doing that, it already knows what to copy just by clicking this one button. You see it's already highlighted the entire area for the dashboard, and it copied as a picture. So when we go to open up our email and send it to the team, you'll find that when you paste it in here, you'll be able to paste as a picture. That makes it the most high resolution, because sometimes it can be fuzzy. You see it's extremely high resolution, and that's the reason why. We're using this macro, and then right click, paste as picture. So now let's move on to step 11. We want to paste this in the body of the email. And just like I said in the last one, you need to paste as a picture in Outlook in your message. And that's how it looks good right here. You right click and you paste as a picture, right? So that is what the purple is referring to there. And then you need to make sure that everyone that's included in the project, like the project director, project manager, superintendent, project engineer, field engineer, ICT manager, safety manager, cost accountant, survey, anyone that touches this project should get a copy of the email. So you should start adding those team members, right? So Jerry is the project director, Damien is the project manager, so on and so forth. So you'd have everyone in here, and make sure all of that is correct and that you have everyone ready to go, so that you can attach everything in here that is at least a requirement, which is at least a 6-week look ahead and critical path PDFs. Once you've attached, and I'll just go ahead and do that right now. Once you've attached, and I'll actually do it like this. Once you've found all the documents, like we talked about, those different ordeals, which we'll do I'll come down here, critical path and 3-week look ahead. Let's say that these are those two, right? And you click insert, and those are in the email. Or you can do some sort of link to where those are, so it's a quick find for the team. Once those are there, you should make sure that anything that has an indicator, red at least, has some sort of explanation in the body of your email. So it might look like something like this. I'll just do one for the number of red flags in the procurement. You would need to do it for all of them, but for this example, I'll just show you that. Procurement log, red flags. Right? We have fire rated doors, 5 days late, has 25 days total float. We also have glazing, 26 days late, -2 days, sorry, this one has not negative, 2 days total float. That's near critical. And then the last one is millwork level 3. And this is 30 days late, 0 days total float. And you could even go in here and say, and look who's calling me right now. I'm gonna actually say don't accept for a second, and I'm gonna say Lucas is looking into glazing, and Damien is working with the millwork contractor to expedite, so on and so forth. So that would be a little explanation right there for that red flag. And that's what you would do for your weekly schedule dashboard.